Hi, this is Eli Levy, and today I want to show you how I gauge volatility when things get a little out of hand. But before we do that, please take a minute and read our disclosure. We're going to look at oil. Oil got a little out of hand with the situation of what's going on in Iran. And we closed the week, and then we opened on Monday. I looked at the futures, they were at 119. I think it was 40 was the high, 43. And things, they were up 29% that day, or 26, I can't even recall, but it was a pretty huge gap up open. Um, so that is obviously volatility, and you don't know what's going on. Is it going to 150? Is it coming back down to 100? Is it going to fall down to 75? I mean, they pulled in all the way down to about 76.50, more or less, in one day. That is a huge retracement. I pulled some Fibonacci numbers, and they passed a 61% retracement on that day from where I pulled the Fibonacci numbers. Um, yeah, it was. 61% was at 79. I remember 63, more or less. I was like, okay, that should be the holding point. They went all the way down to 76. Very, very volatile. And you kind of don't know. Let's say you have an entry point. My entry point was somewhere around the 79.63. And it's going against you. Take a position, and the position is going against you. Like, am I getting out? Did I get it at a good price point? Or is this going down to the next retracement, which is 69? Do I really want to hold it from 79 to 69? I don't think so. I might want to be able to get out. But it's like a rubber band, and you don't know where it's going to stop, right? They're pulling in, and who knows? Maybe Trump's going to come out with another announcement. We're done. And this price is going even back down to like 60 bucks. So that's when you're in a trade, those are the dilemmas. And one of the things I do to gauge this volatility is to use the RSI. It's a very simple tool. There are other tools that I use, but this is the simplest tool I use. And I'm going to show you exactly how I use it. It actually comes out to very helpful for me as a whole. So first of all, what I do is I usually put a trend line. You know how you could put a trend line on stocks? Believe it or not, you could also put a trend line on a study. And look at that, right? I mean, we have a nice upward sloping trend line on the RSI, right? You see that? I usually do that on the S&P. I usually do that on anything contract that I'm trading. I could use trend lines. So I'm gauging on what's the trend and where is the trend. Is it holding or is it breaking? Just like a trend line on a stock. That's point one. Point two is I'm obviously looking at the RSI. One of the things that we know about the RSI is 70 is overbought, 30 is oversold. That's what we were taught, technical analysis. So when we are over 70, we're overbought. When we're under 30, we are oversold. And those are places to look for opportunities to buy under 30 if you believe it's going to go up, and to sell above 70 if you believe it's going to go down. So now what I do is I jump, after I look at a daily chart, I jump to a 4-hour chart, right? Which is 240 minutes if you really want to calculate it by minutes in order to be able to get it down on your charts. And then I kind of get a sense where we are. We were pretty much at around 87, right? And we're pulling in. Where do I want to see this thing pulling into? Look, it pulled in the last time before that to about the 50s, right? Before that, it was like trading in a very narrow range, and it pulled all the way down to about the 40s. So I know that somewhere around the 40, I'm good to go in terms of a support, right? Way overbought, 87. They're pulling in all day. Where is this going to stop? First support line should be somewhere around the 50. That's my first gauge. Then I go to a 60-minute chart, right? I still didn't enter my trade. I'm just looking at the RSI, and I'm going to show you when I enter my trade what's happening. So I'm looking at the RSI. And here we are, we're approaching my price at 79, we said, right? 63. That's where my pricing point was pretty much. What happened to the RSI when it hit during that hour at 79.63? The RSI reached that area of the 30, right where it's going to go to about oversold condition. And that supported. A lot of times when we are overbought, if there is still very strong momentum, we hit the 70 and we keep going back up. And if we are selling off, we usually either hit the 30 and jump, or we obviously break through. In this particular case, it's supported. So that was the first sign that I had when I had entered my trade to know I may be okay here holding the 79, even though this thing is going down all the way down to 76. And I got a big wick here, right? Wicks, which is what you saw in the daily chart, usually what they signify, and they're pointed to us, if you get a long wick, okay, that means that there is a reversal here. There is a reversal of a trend. We were gapping up. We went all the way up at that high, and then we are coming back down. And then the candle's turning red with a big wick. We are oversold. So that's on the 60-minute. Okay, so I'm telling myself, okay, we didn't go into oversold territory, but we are pretty low. I got a good price point. Then I'll go to a 15-minute chart. Here we are in a 15-minute chart. What happened here on the 15-minute chart? This was the oversold area, right? And around the 120 areas that we went to. And then we started selling off and selling off and selling off. And we hit this price point. There we are. Price point is right here. We jumped off it and we continued selling down. And this is where I took that trade, right? Right around 79.63. And we're selling off even more. We're reaching oversold territory. And now this is where I'm looking for an indication. Are we turning back up? And I'm getting that indication. But where do I get that indication even earlier? I actually, believe it or not, go to a 5-minute graph. In the 5-minute graph, if I'm looking at it, and here it is. This was the area of the entry of the trade, 79.63. You could see it even better, right? And where is this RSI at 79.63? You're looking at it. It's all the way down here, below the 20 at 16. So I know we are very oversold on the 5-minute. So what happens now is I'm looking for the RSI to actually start giving me higher lows and higher highs. And where do I begin seeing that? I'm going to take you to a 1-minute graph, and that's where it all begins. Here we are, 76. This is where we were at 76, right? 79, 76. You could see that. What happened before that? Before that, the market was right here at 80.42, and the RSI was down when we were somewhere around the 84.2. We went down on the 1 minute on the RSI. We went down to a 9, okay? And what happens is we come here and I get into this trade, say it's 79.63, and we're making a lower low on the price pattern, but the RSI is not confirming it. You see, the RSI is giving me a higher low while the price point is giving me a lower low. And that's when I tell myself, okay, I might be in good hands here with this trade, because the RSI is not confirming a lower price point that I'm seeing on the price pattern on the chart. And this is where my trade begins, on the 1-minute graph, and using the RSI on a 1 minute. So I enter the trade, right? Here we are, 79.63. The RSI is at a very, very low point when I had my entry. And then they're going against me. When they go against me, that's when I start panicking. That's when I say to myself, okay, where am I putting this stop loss? Because this thing was so volatile, I didn't even want to put a stop loss because I figured they're going to do this. They're going to just go bonkers and they're going to, trade this thing. They can trade it to whatever they want. It's not smart not to put a stop loss unless you really know how to use volatility. I gauge it. I have years of looking at it, so I kind of figure out more or less how I'm doing it. Plus, I'm also very fast on the trigger. If it's, I got a price point in my head, I don't want to lose more than $100, $500, $1,000, $10,000, whatever you figure out, you don't want to lose by it. You got to press that button. You have to have what's called risk management out of steel. You know you got to press that button. So I'm in the trade, and the trade is going against me right there. But what did the RSI do? It gave me a higher low. And that in my head said to myself, okay, you might be okay here. Just hold on. Don't press that panic button. Don't get out of this trade. Let's see how this develops. Then they come right back all the way up to like about 80. RSI goes back up to over bought territories already, right around the 80 mark, which is fine with me. I got no problem if the RSI on the 1 minute does that, because I know it goes up, down, as you could see, while the price keeps going up, right? So I don't really care how the RSI is going to continue trading on the 1 minute, unless I'm using it again for risk parameter or entry points. What I did care was that the RSI gave me a higher low. And then from there, I work backwards again. I use that on the 5 minute. Perfect. So here I am. I enter the trade on the 5 minute, right? I got myself, this was the RSI, that was a 13. Did I ever get a lower low in the RSI since my entry point? I didn't. And that's why I was good to go. I was like, okay, hold this thing, keep holding it. You're going to get higher highs. And then they reached overbought territories. I remember I took some profit, came back down, decided to get back in again, took profit again. Unfortunately, I didn't hold it for the gap up because I had to use it as some sort of leverage against the short and the ES. So I ended up missing this, but I did catch a bottom, okay? And the RSI helped me understand whether I need to exit that trade or whether I'm okay and I have some breathing room. Did I catch a low point or not? If you want to know why I decided on 79.63, I used Fibonacci numbers. I figured out a way where I wanted to pull where I want to pull the Fibonacci numbers from, and that's why I decided 79.63 is a great entry point. For those of you who are trading very volatile, another tip I'm going to give you is something very volatile. If you have an entry point, 79.63, it might not hit 79.63. You might miss the trade, and it might go against you a lot before it bounces up. So, if you're trading a lot of contracts, let's say one of the reasons why I like using micros is because of the fact that you could actually scale in and average down. If you're saying to yourself, I want 79.63 is my entry point, you can start buying at 80 and then leverage down, put them in 80, 79.60, 79.40, 79, 78.50, and so on, and then you'll get a much better price point. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you on the next one. And don't forget, you could use Canon X, great platform for trading. Have an amazing day.